Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football G's up there. All right, guys, we had what we thought was, I really thought it was the end of the world. I thought it was the end of the world because I went, I was doing the honeydew list and stuff. We did a plant wall and things. We got that stuff together, trying to take care of stuff. Been working out in my backyard and things. So by the time the season gets here, that I've got everything together. In fact, my wife was kind of teasing me today, or trying to motivate me on doing more to the backyard. She said, maybe we should have a back the football party in August. Say what? Okay. So it's like, well, we need to do this. So anyway, I was working on all that stuff and I went on YouTube and everything was gone. I was like, what? So I went into the house, got on my computer, and everything from Gmail is gone. It says sign in. I try and sign in and it won't let me sign in. So I went back to my cell phone, to the YouTube app, and I could see my channel there, but things were just kind of like shutting down on it. And I was thinking, oh my God, they're shutting down my channel. I went downstairs, woke up Michael, and said, Michael, do you see my channel? Are you able to get on? Yeah, mine's fine. Oh, Lordy. I sent a message to Miss Jackie and said, I think they shut down my channel. And I called Law Nation, and thank God Law had already been on Twitter and knew about the problem with YouTube having a server that went down. Their cloud computing was just jammed up. And it was like, okay, whew, thank you. But that's one of those things. My wife always accuses me of being too old school because, see, I get scared about doing things like putting my credit card on my cell phone or using my cell phone to pay for. It's a great convenience. But it was weird because last weekend my wife's account was overdrawn. And it was because somebody had been using her account information at the liquor store, at the mall, at an apparel store, and all these places, and the bank shut it down. And she's like, my card's right here. So we're like, how did they use your credit card? I guess they did it on with a cell phone or something. But it seems like it would be that easy. Just imagine if China hacked into the banking system and just wiped all the information. So every time, like today, when you tried to log into YouTube and it just buffered or wouldn't play anything, what if every penny that you had access to, that happened? That's a scary thought. That's a real scary thought. But anyway, here we are, another weekend without football. And it's one weekend closer to the season. We literally are 3 months away from the kickoff. It's that soon. It's literally that soon. And I'm excited. So this morning, because we have the situation with Zeke Elliott, we know that the NFL is out to make an example of Zeke Elliott. That Zeke Elliott is under the microscope and has to be better than everybody else. And so I said today, this morning's video, could the Dallas Cowboys win without Zeke? And I got a lot of interesting responses. And a bunch of them were, forgive me, of course we can't win without Zeke. Our quarterback sucks. And we saw what happened when we did not have Zeke Elliott, which is true. The first three games against Atlanta, Philadelphia, and the Chargers, they were ugly. Oh my God, they were ugly. Dak had 176 yards, 67% completions, 5.9 yards per pass. The next week against the Eagles, 145 yards, 58 completion percentage, 4.7 yards per pass. Then the next week, 179 yards, 74% completion, at least that went up, and 6.6. And during that time, we had 0 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. And I agree with you. We could not do jack. But I remember growing up and going to Boy Scouts. That's right. Boy Scouts. And when we went to summer camp, I had never been to a swimming pool. I was 11 years old. Never actually been swimming. And everybody else in the troop knew how to swim, which was difficult because they had the swimming area separated by the way the dock went. So they had the swimming area, which was jump off, it's like 6 feet, and then it goes out to about 12 feet, and there's a swimming platform that's out there, which was nice. You could have a lot of fun out there, plenty of space to go. Then they had the beginners area, where it was only chest deep. And then they had the non-swimmers area, which was only knee high. And so that first year, I was a non-swimmer. The second year I came back, I got to be a beginning swimmer. I got enough that I could swim enough to be in the beginning area. So I went from this deep to this deep. By the third year, I could pass the swimming test. So I could be in with the big boys. By the fourth year, I was actually a lifeguard. So I learned each summer, and I got better and better. So there is a learning curve. It's like why we go to school. It's why you're in first grade, and then you pass and go to second grade, third grade, because you get smarter, and you get better. And so here's the thing. For those who say you can't win with Dak Prescott, he doesn't have enough to win. Here's what's interesting, because after losing those first 3 games without Zeke, the next 4, we actually won. Granted, they weren't playoff teams like the first 3. But the next game, still not a lot of yardage. He was against the Redskins, and this is where he actually hurt his hand. Hurt his hand in the first half. Came back in the second half, and we won. He did throw 2 touchdown passes with 1 interception. Not a great performance, but it was a win. The following week, we threw for 332 yards, a 66.7 completion percentage, 11.1 yards per completion, and 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. The last game without Zeke in 2017, 212 yards, 67.7, 7.9, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And of course, the game against the Giants, 387 yards, 61.4 completions, 8.8 yards, 4 TDs, 0 interceptions. So here's the thing. If you take the totality of Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott, Dak Prescott without Zeke Elliott, what you get is 219 yards passing, 63.38 completion percentage, 7.08 yards per completion, and 9 touchdowns and 8 interceptions. And this is where all you Dak haters are saying, see, I told you, you can't win without Zeke Elliott. And believe me, I don't want to find out if we have to win without Zeke Elliott. I want Zeke there. But here's the thing, and I know what's going to happen. I know you haters going to say, but you can't count that. You manipulate the statistics. You're full of crap. Well, here's what's interesting. Just like the first year I was a non-swimmer, the second year I was a beginner, and the third year I was a swimmer. And by the fourth year, a lifeguard. I got better as time went on. Because if you take the last 4 games that Dak Prescott played without Zeke Elliott, it's 4 wins, 0 losses. But wait, there's more. if you act right now, what we averaged is 258 yards passing in those 4 games, a 61.2 completion percentage, and 8.1 yards per pass. And the final note on that is, in those last 4 games that Dak Prescott played without Zeke Elliott, 7 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. 4 wins, 258 yards, 61.2% completion percentage, 8.1 yards per completion, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And that's a 4-game win streak without Zeke Elliott. Now, this is where you, the hater, get an opportunity to go ahead and tell me that I'm an idiot. And it's not the first time, and I know it won't be the last time. But see, here's the thing that's funny, is there's so many times I get laughed at when I come out and I say something. You're an idiot. You're not an expert. You're not, working for ESPN. You don't know nothing. Last year when we were 3-5 and I said the season wasn't over, I said the team has time to right the ship. They laughed. You're an idiot. Admit it. Dak Prescott sucks. Oh, you're talking about having a contract extension for Dak Prescott? You're an idiot. Admit it. Dak is trash. Come on, man. You can do it. Dak Prescott sucks. Go ahead. Come on. You can do it. I said, no. I'm telling you. Give it time. It takes time to put together the new parts. It takes time to get past losing 2 receivers between Dez Bryant and Jason Witten. It takes time for these new pieces to go together. It's going to take time for that offensive line to gel and to become a cohesive team. In the end, that's what happened. We went on a streak. So we'll see if this is right or not. Like I said, I hope and pray that the NFL doesn't make us have to prove this theory. But here's the reality. As we look around at all of the players that are out there getting arrested for domestic violence, for drunk driving, for drugs, for weapon charges, driving without a license and telling the officer, oh, my license is at the facilities, and then turning around and telling the same officer that a couple of months later after he gave you a break. After having a guy drunk driving the wrong way down the Lincoln Tunnel, having another guy who's smoking weed, trying to get with. The reality is that Dallas Cowboys are judged differently than anybody else. And with Zeke Elliott's past history, you may not have him begin the season. That's the reality that we face. Until they say, you're good, expect the worst. Hope for the best, but plan for the worst. So we'll see what happens on that one. Our live stream tomorrow might go off a little bit late. I've got to see my man Don and his wife. She doesn't get off until 7:30 we're going to start a job for him at his house, and we got to go over the stuff. So hopefully I'll be back in time by 9 o'clock. If not, we may start like 9:30. But as always, friends, thank you all. Whoa. Actually, hold up. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 94 days. Just like that. I guess I timed it just right. I'm Mark Holmes, and it's only 94 days to the kickoff of the NFL season. I'll see you guys in the morning with Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys.